All right, hey, how's it going? Today I'm making this quick video all about recruiting for your startup. And you're looking to find good people and you're finding that it's kind of hard to do that. You're posting kind of job posts on like AngelList or Indeed, and you're finding that the applicants just aren't really up to par. So we were having this problem at our company, Wiza, and we fixed it by reaching out to people ourselves using LinkedIn and using advanced filters within there to find people that were already trained in some of the skills we were looking to hire them for, so that when they actually came on board, it was way quicker to get them up to speed. So I'm going to show you exactly what we did and how you can do it yourself in this video. So the biggest problem with recruiting and trying to hire for your startup where you're looking for people who are talented is that the best people are probably already working in a job. You know, they're not spending a lot of time unemployed or looking for jobs. So you have to go to them and do what's called poach them from kind of the company they're at. And poaching is just kind of a word for, stealing or like basically reaching out to an employee that's working at another company and trying to get them to leave that company to come to yours. They're not unemployed and looking for a position. They might not even be looking for a job at all. So you're convincing them that there's some reason they should join you, either better growth potential, more money, maybe they're not happy in their current position, etc. So hopefully you're familiar with this. It's LinkedIn Sales Navigator. They have a free trial. You're going to need this for this. I think it's $70 a month if you don't have it, but this is going to let you search people way better than you typically can on LinkedIn. So we're going to start from here. So you can filter down for anything. So I'm going to use the example that we did to place our recent customer success manager. So I'm going to just go off that. So what we were looking for is someone in customer success. So I'm going to select customer success manager. And we are in Toronto, but we're open to remote in North America. So let's say anyone in US or Canada. So right there, we have 46,000 customer success managers at these different companies. So we're a tech company. So we were looking for computer software, IT, and internet companies. Okay, great. So we've narrowed it down to 28,000. We're looking for someone with experience at a startup that's bigger than ours, but not too big. So we utilize this company headcount filter that you see here. And so we put, I believe it was anywhere from 11 to 500. So let's do that. Okay, now we have 13,000. Now is where it starts to get a lot more interesting. So here's a few things you can do. The first thing I'm going to point out is the ability to put in keywords. So we have a live chat on our website here, and this tool is called Intercom. So if I go here, and I put in the keyword intercom, you can see my list came down drastically, but it's probably quite targeted. So what that keyword tool does is it looks for the word intercom somewhere in their profile. So here you can see that in her description, she mentions that she's familiar with intercom. All right, well, that's pretty great for us because we use intercom. So she's obviously already use the tool, so she's familiar with it. So that saves us a lot of time. And our customer success people spend a lot of time within Intercom. So that's one thing we can look at. So just with that, we've got 64 results right here. Some pretty great companies that are super similar to us. The other thing we can do is we can look in years in current position or years at current company. So let's take off the Intercom filter. And we can say years at current company, and then let's say we want people who haven't been at the same company for more than 6 years, or so 1 to 5 years is kind of an ideal time for us. Because if they're there less than 1 year, they're probably looking to stick around. So we probably wouldn't want to reach out to these. And if they're there more than 10 years, maybe they don't have enough experience at kind of different companies to bring in a different kind of point of view. So this looks like the right timeline as a whole, 2 years at company, 7 months in role. Someone like this might be looking to make a change. The final thing I'm going to show you on the LinkedIn side is something kind of interesting that you can do with competitors. So I'm going to use an example. Let's say I am Ahrefs, okay? So if I'm this company Ahrefs, let's find some competitors. Okay, great. I have some competitors. Let's say I'm looking to hire a customer success manager for Ahrefs. What I'm gonna do is I can go to this search. Let's start to strip these out. We'll keep the title. And maybe I just want to poach from my competitors because maybe I want to learn about kind of what they've done internally. So what you can do is put in an exact company. So let's put in SEMrush. Sweet. So now I've got 8 people who work at SEMrush, a competitor of Ahrefs. And I can say either they're currently there or they've been there in the past. So let's say current or past. So if they either work at SEMrush now or they have in the past, they're gonna come up here. So here's a girl here who she's currently at Synopsys, but in 2020 to 2021, she was in customer success at SEMrush. Let's add another competitor. You can do really as many as you want. Moz is another one. Now you've got 17. Okay. So again, these are people that we might want to reach out to and hire. So let's go back to our main example that we used. So here we have 6,000. I'm just gonna make this a little smaller just to make it easier. So I'm gonna take off US and just leave the Canada applicants. That's 735. So, okay, this is great, but how do I actually get in touch with all these people? And that's where our tool kind of comes into play. So what Wiza does is it allows you to export any LinkedIn Sales Navigator search, like this one here of 735, and we'll also find all their email addresses. And you can do either work or personal emails. So here's how it's done. We've got the search here of 735. All we do is hit this export with Wiza button. And now we're brought into the Wiza platform and we can name our list. So let's say this is Canadian CS Manager Poaching, whatever. And we got a few different options here. We want to find their emails. So we're just going to go with this middle option, prospect. Enrich has a lot more options like mobile number and stuff like that. It's not something we utilized. You could, if you're looking to go very aggressive, get their numbers and maybe reach out by phone. But for us, email was enough, and we just went by kind of responses from there. And we got a lot. We got about a 21% response rate. So prospect is what we're going to do. You can see that 735 people here. It's going to take about 10 minutes. And then you can pick the email types. So if you wanted personal email, you could do that. Interestingly enough, we found that work email actually got better results. So we left work email on, and I recommend you to do the same. You can do a backup. So in this case, personal email is a backup. So if the tool happens to not find their work email, it'll fall back and do the personal email. And then you would just launch the scan, and in about 10 minutes, you'd have all their contact information. So just to show you, this is kind of what it looks like. It's split up as valid, risky, or no email. So in this case of 442, we couldn't find the email of 28 of them. 85 of them we found, but we couldn't validate to be 100% sure that they're accurate. And 329 we could, we're sure they're accurate. So this is kind of how it's split up to you. And some people mix the valid and the riskies, or some people just send to valids. It's kind of up to you. In this case, it's a larger search, so we would usually just send to our valids. So if we download that 329, this would be our result. So there's a lot of data in here, but basically the most important ones is you're gonna get that full email here. You're gonna get the name, first name, their current title, their company, their LinkedIn URL, info on their current company, the industry, the sub-industry, the company headcount size, when the company was founded. So if it's like a newer company, you might want to look for the company's annual revenue, the amount of funding that the company's received, their last round, etc. There's basically a ton of stuff. It's mainly for sales use cases, but it's a big mix. So that's what you're gonna get. And then, cool, so now we have all their contact information. So the next step is to use what's called a mail merge tool. There's a lot of these, some are cheaper, some are more expensive. There is this one that we use called Mailshake. There is one called reply.io. I'm going to include these in the description. There's a bunch, and you can check them out and kind of see whichever you prefer. We like Mailshake. I think it's about 50 or 60 bucks a month per account. Anyway, so this is where you would go from the next step. You could just sign up for a Mailshake account, start a new campaign, and we could call this, CS manager role, February campaign, whatever. And then that file that we just downloaded, all we do is upload that CSV. So we put it here, and you basically just map the columns here. But let's just import it. Then it'll add the 316, and now you just build your sequence. So I'll actually show you what we said. Okay, so I went in and found ours because it was in an older Mailshake account. So this was our template. So in this step, you're basically just composing your messages. We did one email with one follow-up. The follow-up was just a quick reply to this to follow up on the job description. Typically, we follow up a lot in sales. So we would maybe send like 6 or 7 follow-ups in total across like 3 months or something like that. In this case, these people already have a job. We really don't want to bug them. We just want to throw it out there, and the people that are open to it will respond. And the response rates were quite high anyway. So we just did one email and then one follow-up a week later. And if they didn't respond, that was the end of it. But just so you can see, this is the exact template we use, and I'll include this in the video description as well. So it's quite simple. It's got really good results. Definitely recommend trying this out. It's worked super well for us, and we're going to keep using it going forward. So just to kind of recap, make your search on LinkedIn Sales Navigator for people at companies either that are similar to yours or exact competitors. Export the search with Wiza to find all the contact info of all your prospects. Import those prospects to Mailshake and put together a template similar to the one in the description that's kind of more custom to your business. And then watch the interviews roll in and pick whoever you think is the best fit. So that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching, and I hope this helps.